Hi, I'm Joefred. My register number is ur15cs076. This is my 8th program in Java. In this, I'm going to explain about multi-threading. My question is: an aeroplane always needs to check with the airport to see if it has an available runway before it is able to take off or land. Simulate the above mentioned scenario using multi-threading. Now let's show an eclipse. I made in a package called ur15. I made a runway class. In that I have imported a util package. In that I made a runway class and made a private integer value id and a private lock id lock1, and then in I have made a boolean variable, and I have initialized it as true firstly, and then I am making a runway function. Initially I am making and passing an argument of id, integer argument id, and this dot id is equals to id. This is used to refer to the current object, and l dot is equals to new trend block. Then I have made a boolean function landing, and then I have passed in that int idp, then boolean I if boolean I is a boolean variable, and I is equals to try lock on dot try lock. If I is equals to true, then availability is false. System dot, then I'm printing that plane is landing on runway. Plane idp, that is the number of the plane that is landing on the runway, and then I'm giving id, then returning I. And in the same way for takeoff I have made if system, I'm printing that plane plus id is going to, id is the number of the plane, is going to take off from the runway, and this is the idp is the number of the plane, and id is the number of runway, and availability is equal to true, then one dot unlock. Now I have made a plane, a class called plain Java that extends the thread, and then I have made a r1 r2 r3 r4 as the object of runway, and then variables of runway, and then I declared an integer variable id and tag, then a boolean variable I that is initially false. Then I've made a public plane function. In that I am passing runway r1, runway r2, runway r3, and runway r4 as an argument, and id integer id, and then I'm this dot id is equals to, then I'm assigning all the values to the variables as per the argument is passed. This is actually referred to the current object. Then after that I made a run function program that is to run the thread. Then if r1 dot available is true, then I'm going to give that I is equals to r1 dot landing id, and tag is equals to 1. If r2 is available, I've done the same thing with r2, r3, and r4 also, same way. And then after that I'm making them sleep. Then if tag is equals to 1 and I is equals to true, then r dot takeoff. The same way for takeoff. This is for landing, this is for takeoff, the same thing. But in this time here I tag was equals to 1. Here I am doing as I is equals to false. Then I made a function sleep, the thread dot sleep new random, and dot next int 8 into 100. That is to sleep this thread, make the thread sleep. That's inside the try catch. If there are any exception, to remove the exception. Now I'll show you the another class. In that class is called air that I've made. In that I have made a main function, that is runway r. R is an array of runway type, that is equal to new runway 4. The maximum size of the runway array, R array, is 4. That is then I am running a for loop from 0 to r, 0 to less than r dot length. Then we have made an array of an object of plane, and then I'm starting the threads for all the threads r1, r2, r3, r0, r1, r2, r3. I'm starting the thread. So this for loop is to start the thread. Now let's run the program. So it's showing me the plane 2 is landing, plane 0 is landing in runway 0, plane 2 is landing in runway 3, plane 1 is landing in runway 1, and plane 3 is landing in runway 2. The same way for taking off. And if I'll apply it again, this pattern will change. See, this time plane 0 is landing on plane 2, and plane 2 is landing on plane 3, and 1 is on 1 and 3 is on 2. See, this here it is 3 1 0 2. Then again if I'll do, this will change again. This is 1 2 3 0. If again I'll do, it will change again. This is 2 3 1 0. So if I run again and again, the number of threads, when the thread is started and when the thread is stopped, every time it changes. Which thread start when, it's depend on what is going on behind how the thread is working. So by multi-threading, it's random which thread will work first according to the priority. So thank you for watching my video.